Hey everybody, we're here in the garage again. We've got a bonus video for you tonight because we've got an experimental beer. And that's the fun thing about making your own beer, is that you can do some wild and craziness and see what you come up with. And I'm kind of wondering, what have you done here and what have you come up with?
So guys, this is my first recipe that I'm doing from scratch. So this is the first batch of many, because I'm obviously going to need to take 4 or 5, maybe 6 iterations of this to get it perfect. And as with everything, nothing is ever perfect. But here's a little close up. We got ourselves a nice hazy IPA. So yeah.
Well, I just snuck a drink of that one. And it's solid, folks. It's a solid IPA. Very well. That's a good one right there. I'm a big fan of hazies, and I consider myself a connoisseur of them. And you may wonder,
who are you?
How in the world I sit here and talk about beer, and that'd be a fair question. Actually, one of the most famous beer and Scotch writers and connoisseurs of those two items was a man by the name of Michael Jackson, who drank himself to death, kind of fittingly. I actually went to a Scotch tasting of his one time, and it was pretty good. He said, "This tastes like Scotland." And everything tasted like Scotland, and we drank a lot of Scotch, and then after that, we had lunch, and then we went to a beer tasting. He was very good.
You drank with Michael Jackson?
I drank with Michael Jackson.
That's awesome.
The old white Scotch guy.
Yeah.
So this is beginning to settle a little bit. Definitely a hazy. It'll clarify a little bit, but not a lot. I mean, it's going to fall out just a little bit. The head on this is real nice. It's got clings, solid. Time to give it a test.
Prost.
Prost. Well, I'll be damned. That's a hazy IPA right there.
Juicy.
Very juicy. Very juicy. Definitely a IPA because you don't really get hardly any of the malt. The hops jump up there and then finish, which probably means that you've done some dry hopping, I would imagine. And what, a couple of different other stages of hopping? What have you done exactly on this?
So this beer kind of just came up with it. I found a few good hops that I like. Obviously, you got to pick certain ones because you don't want to have too many IBUs, otherwise, then Mike just gives me a 2. So we start out with Pearl and Howler Tower again. Very popular hop brand. Very low alpha acid, so it's not a very dominant hop. So we did those 2 on the first one at 60 minutes, so that was 1.5 ounces. Then we went to Citra, did 1 ounce of Citra, and then we did 1 ounce of Howler Tower right at the very end at 5 minutes, and then we dry hopped with Azaka. We did 2 ounces for 3 days, kind of during secondary. So this beer is actually not technically finished yet. It probably still could use another week or 2, just finishing, doing what it's supposed to do. But nevertheless, yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the 2 weeks of conditioning that it's still going to go through is going to allow a little bit more of the solids to fall out of the beer, so it's not going to be quite as hazy, which right at the moment gives it a big full mouth. It's a big beer. It's a very big beer because of the type of hopping that you've done with it. like I said, I'm a big fan of hazies and IPAs, and this one is a definitely good first run at it. You did well.
Yeah, so something, guys, I'm kind of working at right now and trying to learn is how to really adjust the water chemistry of the beer to influence the style you're making, which is something that separates, the boys from the men in the beer world. I didn't really pay attention too much at first, but this is me trying to influence that, and so you can bring out the malt or the hops more by adding certain salts or soluble compounds like calcium chloride or magnesium sulfate with Epsom salt. You can add certain things to bring out hops or malt. So this is us trying to make a traditional IPA, but we still got a little bit of work to do on it. So without further ado, Mike, what's the Mikey meter gonna?
This is kind of a tough one because it's an experimental beer and it's the very first time that he's brewed it. So I want to definitely rate it fairly, but give him room to grow. So I'm thinking this is a good 6 on the beer meter, and an enjoyable beer, a drinkable beer, and a beer that's only going to get better. And I'm going to really look forward to trying this beer in a few other styles as it grows and gets added to and taken away from. And this could be a biggie. This could be a really good beer right here.
What do you think would make this beer better?
Definitely we need to control the head a little bit on it so that it doesn't foam quite as much. I think that could be, and I put it in the notes if you've got an idea, please. Mm-hmm. But I think maybe we need to clean up the beer making just a little bit, make sure that we're clean and we don't have anything getting in our beer that's additional. Other than that, I really don't know. I'll ask you folks out there, what does work for you to keep the foam, the head down on your beers? I mean, the head on these beers will tell you they're nice, tight bubble beers, not big old lazy bubbles or anything like that, and it's not effervescing. So it's going the right direction. It's definitely going the right direction.
As always, guys, we appreciate y'all watching, and
it's a good time. Thanks a bunch.
Hit those buttons below and turn the notifications on. And also, we love it when you guys share this video because it helps other people appreciate beer, which is what we're all about, is making good beer for people. So don't forget, say howdy with Happenstance. We'll see y'all later.
Salute.